Alright everyone, thank you for coming. It's Jira Bro back with another video. Today we're gonna talk about the full tutorial of the Jira Service Management, so let's get right into it. I'm going to start and I'm going to make the fresh new Service Management, and what I'm going to be choosing in here is going to be a template. So it's actually kind of an easier thing to start your service management project when you have some of the templates. So I'm gonna go with the general service management for the IT teams. Now you actually can optimize this however you want. So as you can see in here, I'm getting a workflow of to do, pending, in progress, and done. So it's important for you to see the template. I'm gonna choose the company managed project, and I'm going to name this. So since I already have the IT service desk project, I'm going to name this differently, and I'm going to name this, let's say Jira Bro Support. Let's go with that, like the name. And I'm gonna be using this for the team type, right? So you also want to choose the team type. This will help customize your project setup experience. So this is actually pretty good, and you also have some predefined things. Now you can go and say for the other, and it's gonna ask you, your information will be kept safe in accordance with our privacy policy. Yeah, that is the something that Atlassian keeps private. So you can, if you want, you can go ahead and choose. So this is pretty good because you can actually define, depending on your team, what you have. So I'm going to choose the operation business, for example. And I'm going to say only people directly invited to this project can submit requests, and anyone can submit requests to this project. So this is going to be restricted because you don't actually want anyone on your Jira site to actually raise a ticket right there, because it's kind of pointless. Then you have the option to share settings with the existing project. What actually this allows you? This allows you to actually save significant amount of time when you're creating your project that can actually have some of the inherited configurations from your existing project. Now you also have to show more, which is going to be our company managed project. I'm not gonna be touching any of these, so I'm gonna just create my project and get onto it. Alright, so this is our service project. And probably in here you're going to be seeing a different thing. In mine is still in French. I don't know why is it still showing, and this is gonna show your queues. Now, first of all, what I want to say, in Jira Service Management, you have two types of the users. You have agents on one side, and you have the customers. Who are the agents? Agents are actually the ones who are resolving all of the support requests that are coming from your customers in your service management project. And this right here, as you can see, this is the view that Jira Service Management agents will see, because for the customers it's different experience, because there is a customer portal that can be customized by the Jira Service Management agents. Right now it's my queue is actually empty in here because I don't have any open tickets in here. What I can do, I can create an issue if I want. The very first thing that you're going to see in here, that the issue types are quite different, because you have like a task to ask a question, to raise an incident, or to actually raise an email request. So these are the different issue types. And then in Jira Service Management, you're actually having something that is called the request type. Now, for the request types, it's really important to say that your request types are tied to your issue types. So depending on what issue type you select, the request type can actually be, well, different. Yeah, so you can say I want to ask a question, and it's gonna say, well, for what kind of like question you want to ask. I'm gonna say like, how does this work? So this is a mandatory field, and in here I also need to fill this up, and I'm gonna say how it works really. You can select the organizations, but this is not really that important. I'm going to click on create, and when I actually click on create, and if I go ahead and refresh my page right here, I'm gonna have my first queue in here. And when I open my queue, as you can see in here, you have, when I open my my ticket, this is actually what I'm actually seeing in here. So first of all, there are something in here that you will notice. Those are the SLAs. Now, SLA stands for Service Level Agreement. So that means that you, as a support, have come to some terms with your management with for some periods, for some things. So the first thing in here is, I will translate this from the French because on the English version you have the time for the first response, and then you have the time for the resolution. Basically, those are going to be the two SLAs that are going to be in there in your JSM project by the default. So for the first response, it's like, well, it's gonna be like until tomorrow at 5 p.m. and time to resolution of this is 80 hours, right? So those are like, let's say, the full things. The question you probably might be asking is, can you change this? The answer is yes, you can. Now, there are other things in here that you actually might need to know. Is, first of all, you have the knowledge bases in here that can be actually attached to your ticket in here, and you can actually refer to these knowledge bases within your request. Now let us click on more fields, and when you click more fields, you get this drop down right here. So the most thing that you will pay attention are the request participants. Now, who are the request participants? Well, the request participants actually can be, another question would be, let's say you have multiple agents, right? And you want like more agents to be working on one issue. If, let's say, it's a priority one issue, and when the priority one issue is raised, basically it means something big is going on. I'm not saying like the servers are burning or something like that, but something is happening in that limit that basically your business is impacted, and no one cannot do anything in the company, which is actually not good for the company because big losses are incoming. So within your request participants, you can add your agents. You can do that, but in your request participants, you can actually add customers as well. Now the question is, do they get notified for this when they when there is a change on a ticket, when there's something, the answer is yes, they do get notified about this. And then there are other things like approvers, like who actually made an improvement for this. But when it comes to resolving the ticket, actually the agents are the ones who are determining if some issue is being resolved or if it's not resolved. I mean, uh, they cannot always close the tickets. Don't get me wrong on this. So they're actually the ones who are closing the tickets, but they need to get the confirmation and everything is working from their customer. Otherwise, they would get fired if they randomly started to close some of the tickets. I mean, all of them. That would be bad. All right, so other things. Ignore all of these things here. These are just the apps that were added in here. So they're still in there, even though I have canceled the subscription. I tried to do the uninstallation, but apparently it didn't want to work. But I will deal with that later. I just wanted to show you how actually the ticket actually works from the agent side, right? So these are the queues, right? This is something that you have. You also have an option to raise a request, and I will get to this in a moment. We're gonna skip all of these things. Of course, there are boards in your service management project, and you can actually operate using the board. And as you can see, this is basically like a Kanban board, and it works basically in the same way like in Jira software project. And then you have like knowledge bases, and then you have like articles, right, where you can actually share information with your team, and you can also allow for your customers to actually use the knowledge bases. Why actually the knowledge bases have been created? Because you want to reduce the amount of easy resolvable problems, and then you create knowledge bases. I don't know, for example, how to do an export in PDF for Jira, how to actually create a board, you have to actually create a Kanban board from the existing project, how to create a Kanban board based on the JQL query, how to use the advanced search, which is the JQL query, etc., etc. So some stuff like that, right? So you don't get asked to do some easy things when well, your customers can do all of the whole work. And then you also have options for the reports, which are actually based on the workload. And when it comes to the workload, this is mostly based on your this is based on the uh, 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 um this is based on the agents themselves, right? So you can actually see what is going on, what kind of workload they have, what kind of issues are in the progress, and everything else. You also have the reports about the satisfaction. What actually this is when the ticket has been resolved, customers have the option to actually rate your work, and actually this goes into report right here. You have these requests that have been resolved, requests that have been deflected. So these are the reports if your management is asking for more things. Now, really important part is going to be your portal. So on this portal, this is really important for your customers. So your customers, I want to say that the license for the Jira Service Management customers uh, is free for now. Maybe in some far future this will be changed, because this was also changed for the Confluence guests license, because Atlassian has announced that these licenses will be counted as an Atlassian Access license. Now, there might be some people who are not using the Atlassian Access, and basically they don't really care about the Atlassian Access, because the Atlassian Access is another product that adds more layer of security. It actually gives you the identity provider, where you can actually create your external directories. So there are a lot of things about that, and this is most the talk for the organization administration. So let us go with the portal right now. So your customers, when they go to your project, this is what they will see. So this is something that they will see. They will not see this customized option, because this only can be customized by your agents. What agents can do, they can change these things. They can edit home page layout. They can go here. They can create topics. They can sort all these things out. So they can do things that they want. So also they can customize the look and feel. And I'm gonna say this. What is this? So this is, it says Centro de Support. No, it's gonna be Jira Bro Support. JB Support, for example. And I'm gonna say the changes. Right, so the changes have been saved. There aren't really some things in here. So you have Welcome to Help Center. You can actually change this if you want. But basically that is almost everything. Let's go back here. So first of all, um, right, so you have two portals right now. So like IT Service Desk project and the one. Yeah, this is showing because I have another project, and actually this project was set to be open. So I'm gonna choose for the Jira support, and now me as a customer, I'm gonna see these things right here. So these are the things that I need to fill out. So I'm gonna say I am a customer, and I'm gonna say here customer request, and you have like suggested articles in here, and I'm going to say send. Now what's gonna happen? So this is what happens. Alright, in here it says your license has expired, because I'm using multiple products. Ignore this. So what happens here now? What you can actually do, you as a customer can actually share this with the other customers, and this is by default the setting of your service desk service management project. Now this can be changed if it's needed from your from the administrator point of view. So it can be changed in here. So as you can see right here, this looks easy, right? So this is what the customer sees. If I go back in here, and if I go for the queues, right, So if I go for the queues, let me see, let me go back to the Jira support. This is what I have. So I received a new request in here, and it says who is the reporter. There are no request participants added. No one else in here. Similar requests. There are no similar requests in here. So in here it says customer request. When you get this on your portal. So and then you as an agent, you start to work on this ticket. You start to actually collaborate with your customer, and the whole point is to resolve the issues in here. And basically, that was seen from the side of the customer. Now the question is, well, how customers can be actually added in here. So it's open to the customers who are added to the project, right? So you can add them in here, which is also recommended. And the another thing that you would need to do is to add them on your project with the project role of a service desk customer. So that leads me. So there's for the shortcuts, there are not really some things in here. Customer notification logs. Yeah, these are the logs that can be pretty useful. Alright, so for the details, not much. Basically, it's the same like from Jira. Software, people. Alright, so for the people, what I can do is I can say I want to invite this guy, right? And I want to add them as a customer. And if I refresh this, alright, so they're still not in there because they need to accept the invite. And basically here you have these roles. So you have the service desk team, which are the agents, and you have your customers. And basically that's it. That's what you need to know. For the features, you have certain options depending on how your company operates. Your options are to have service request management, incident management, problem management, change management, post-incident reviews, customer service management, developer escalations, and other things that are actually in here. So similar request panel, I want to turn this off. I don't actually want to have this, right? So when you change default request types, when you change the issue type of an issue, will automatically update the issue's request type. Choose the default request type for each of your issues type by editing default request type settings. So you can do this if you go here and you say, well, and this is the thing that I was talking about. When you're creating when you have an issue type of a task or something like that, automatically I can say, well, the request type is going to be this. So if it's for asking the question, request type needs to be, well, asking the question. Alright, so for the summary, I'm gonna skip that because we already have this in Jira. In here, in the issue types, you can edit your issue types, you can add new issue types. So this is basically the same like in software, so we're not gonna go through that. Request types. Okay, this is an interesting topic because first of all, when it comes to request type, you need to know that your request type is tied to your issue type, tied to your workflow, and you have something that is called portal groups. By the default, when when your request types are being added within the general portal group, they get shown on the portal itself. So you get that, all right? Because first of all, what you need to do, as you saw from the customer portal, they only care about the request types. They don't want any issue types or something like that. Agents are actually the ones who are setting up the issue types. So with that said, if I create a request type, I can actually create it from the template if I want to, but I actually don't want. I want to say Wi-Fi password request. I'm gonna change the icon in here. I'm gonna go for something more appropriate. Yeah, this one. I'm gonna say what kind of an issue type this is, right? So I'm gonna say like, okay, this is gonna be for the task. To hide the request type from your help center, leave all groups unselected. As you saw in here, for the email, it's hidden from the portal, but I want this to be shown on the portal. So I'm gonna click on create. Now when I click on create, probably you're familiar with this. This is actually the issue layout within the company managed project, and this is the issue type with the team managed project. Now in here, you're defining and saying, all right, so these are the things that I have in here. So I have instructions, and I have like summary, where the summary is, well, required. So what can I add in here? So first of all, I can add a priority. That's the one thing. The another thing that I can actually add are labels. Then also I can add some description in here. And if I say, well, you have the summary and you have everything in here, I want this to be required as well. I want to know what is going on in there. Let's say if there's some other fields in here. Yeah, for now I don't want to add more. And basically, those are the things that you're actually seeing. Now, this would be, if I can say, this would be a topic for itself when it comes to forms, where you can actually create your forms, and this is why Jira Service Management is known about. Those are actually the forms themselves, right? So you have like forms for the IT, for example, and then you have like a lot of things going on in here. So I have guest Wi-Fi password access. All right, I'm gonna use this, and now what happens is I'm getting this layout right here. So, and this can be actually added in here. I'm going to say save changes. All right. So it says form is saved successfully, and as you can see, the form is actually in here. What is really important, yet when the request is being created, that this form actually needs to be filled as well. External resources, not that really much of an importance. Customer permissions, important stuff. So the thing that you saw by the default, when a customer creates and raises a ticket on a portal, they can share this with the other customers within the organization. Why is this? Because this is the default customer permission that has been added in here. Now, it says in here from above, the Jira admins can update the customer access settings. And when I click this, I get a different view in here. So first of all, you have account types of internal and the external. And probably you're gonna have some external customers coming, like if they're not from your company, let's say some external developers or external consultants, designers, whoever they are. You have these options for the that are outside your company. It says allow portal only accounts to be created for new customers accessing the help center. Now, what you can do is allow customers to create accounts, so they can create your own accounts by signing up or sending an email request. Yes, this can actually is another thing. But let's say they don't actually want to log in. They don't want to have an Atlassian account at all. They just want to be able to raise the tickets. For example, there's some vendors out there that are actually using, well, Jira Service Management for handling their support, right? And when they're handling their support, you don't need to have your Atlassian account. You just go there, you just raise a request, and basically you're done. Nothing else needs to be done by that. And that is actually pretty cool. So in order to do that, you actually check this little box right here, and it says yes, it will impact one project. And I also need to be careful when you're actually changing these things. Language support. In here it says this is the project default that is customers can see the project before. Yeah, I got it, sure. Review confirm language translations, or so they're up to date. So I need to enable the okay. Languages French, right. And you have the options for the portal configuration. So you can add the logo if you want. You can have the introduction text as well. You can have the name. You can change all of these things. Can agents add announcements to this service project portal, right? So it's by default to no, and I suggest to you that it should be there as well. Email requests. This could be a topic for itself, because for the email request you can actually set up another custom email where you can actually get the notifications. What is this all about? So you can turn your customer email into support requests by using default email account, or you can use a custom email account. And what is really important, that you can only connect one custom email per service project. So you need to know about that. So you can do this with a Google, Microsoft, or the other vendor. All right. Customer notifications. Okay, so templates can be edited on a free plan. Understood. Then you have these options right here. This is by default how the notifications are actually working. Now, depending on your business preferences, you actually want to adjust these notifications in here. By default, they look like this. Widgets, not really important. Virtual agents, that is actually pretty new feature by the Atlassian Intelligence that basically creates a, if I can say, your virtual chatbot that can help you resolve issues for you. So you open a ticket, it actually asks you a bunch of questions, and the goal here is to resolve your problem. Satisfaction settings. it only in satisfaction settings you only have the satisfaction settings for the stars. It cannot be changed because it was coded like that. Then you have like for the knowledge base that you can basically add knowledge bases, and you can control, so you can control what is actually happening here, who can edit this and who can view this. And then you have SLAs, right? So you can add an SLAs, right? You can add up to 90 SLAs in here. So you have like the time to resolution and time to the first response. You can add an SLA, you can change an SLA. If I can say here, for example, what it says, the status is being like open, right? And when it says like the priority is the highest, and it says like, well, time target 2 hours, time target 4 hours, time target 8 hours, time target 16, and etc., etc. So it really depends on how you define things in here. And also, like, you have automation, you also have the apps. I'm not gonna go through workflow screens, fields. I'm not gonna go through any of those things because these things were already being mentioned